In this problem, we need to find the expected value of x2. X here represents the Markov chain. So we know the states are ordered as 0, 1, 2, 3. The values of the states themselves are also 0, 1, 2, 3. So we can infer that this transition matrix is ordered as 0, 1, 2, 3. And if you want to find the expected value of x2, we have to then first figure out what P2 is. Okay. Once we have that, this will tell us the transition probabilities for two steps, basically two transitions. Okay. Once we have that matrix, okay, we're going to have to use this piece of information over here, because remember, x0 represents the initial probabilities, right? Okay. So this will tell you, we don't know exactly which state we're starting from, so we can't just pick a row and then read off the values. We're going to have to multiply this P2 by the initial probabilities. On the textbook or the lecture slides, these are probably referenced as alpha values. So alpha 0, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. Or you can just solve them and then plug in directly there. So, so let's first figure out what P2 is. Okay, so to get P2, we're just going to do P times P, right? So 1/2, 0, 1/2, 0, 1/3, 1/3, 0, 1, 1/6, 2/3, 0, and 0, then 0, 0, 1/2, 0. Okay, and multiply by itself, so 1/2, 1/3, 1/6, 0, 0, 1/3, 2/3, 0, 1/2, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1/2, 0. Okay, so I'm not going to do this calculation all of it by hand, so I'm going to assume that you can use matrix multiplication. So if I want to, for example, just as a reminder, if I want to get this first element here, that's the first row, first column, right? So I'm going to multiply this first row by this column. Okay, so some product of the first row and the first column to get those values. If you calculate all of this, you'll end up getting 1/3, 5/18, and then 11/36, 1/12. Okay, let me erase this here. 1/3, 1/4, 0, 1/9, 2/3, 1/3, 2/9, 1/3, 1/12, 0, 2/3, and 0. Okay, so we have our P2 matrix. Now we're going to multiply this by our initial probability. So based on this statement, we know our initial probability is going to be 0, 0, because it tells you the probability that initially it's 0, the state 0 is 0, right? And also state 1 is 0, so it's 0, 0. And then the probability that initially state 3 is 1/2, right? It's 1/2. Then the probability that initially, we know from this information, probability that x0 is 2 is also 1/2, right? Okay, because they have to add up to 100%, right? So this is also 1/2. I'm going to multiply that by the P2 matrix here. Let me rewrite that here. Okay, so I'm going to take that matrix, put it in there, okay, and multiply this out. The result you're going to get is 1/8, 1/2, 3/8, and 0. Okay, so this matrix tells me the probability that I'm going to end up in state 0, 1, 2, 3. So the first value, this is the value that I'm going to end up in state 0. This is the value that I'm going to end up in state 1. This is the value that I'm going to end up in state 2. This is the value I'm going to end up in state 3, I'm sorry, state 3. Okay, so if I want the expected value of x2 now, all I have to do is take 0 times 1/8 plus 1 times 1/2 plus 2 times 3/8 plus 3 times 0. Okay, so if you multiply all this out, you'll end up with 5/4. Okay, so this is my final answer.